Good morning, children.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Which plant division we were discussing in our previous class, Anthony? Anthony, which plant division we were discussing in our previous class? Oh, very good. Gymnosperms. Okay. So I need to know the features of gymnosperms. Have you read? Evelyn, tell me one point. What do you know about gymnosperms? Evelyn? Any one point? Evelyn, get ready. By then, you're ready? Evelyn, you're saying something?
Gymnosperms
Ah.
of wood by
Your voice is cracking. I'll come back to you later. Donna?
They have naked seeds.
Naked seeds means?
The ovules are not enclosed by
Walls of the
ovary wall.
ovary. Okay. Malavika, another point?
They have tap roots.
Tap roots. Naureen, another point?
The stems are branched or unbranched.
Okay. Rijas?
The roots have some fungal association called mycorrhiza.
They have or they form fungal association with?
Called mycorrhiza.
No, this fungal association, roots of certain plants will form association with fungi and form mycorrhiza. Then, Anna Viju, another point.
Ma'am, they include medium type plants and trees and stuff.
Only medium sized? Only medium sized? The tallest tree species come under this category. You tell me the name of that. Which is the tallest tree? Such an important point. How can you miss it?
Giant redwood.
Giant redwood tree or sequoia tree. Then next point, Nidhi.
Nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Some roots are having.
Some of them. What do you call that roots? Starting with C.
Cycas.
No, the name of the roots, coralloid roots. You call it as coralloid roots. Anyway, Nidhi, I'm happy that you're revising regularly and attentive in the class also. Good, keep it up. Meenakshi, another point.
Ma'am, the leaves are well adapted to harsh conditions.
The leaves are, or as such the plant is adapted to harsh weather conditions. And we learned about some adaptations found in leaves. Steffi, one point about the leaves.
Leaves are simple or compound.
Adaptations. What you said is correct, a point about leaves. I need some adaptations shown by the leaves to reduce water loss.
They have narrow leaf which has less surface area.
It resembles what? That narrow leaves are resembling what?
Needle-like.
Needle-like leaves. Why needle-like leaves? If the surface is less, surface area is less, what is the advantage? If it was a broad leaf, what would have happened?
I don't know.
What is the advantage? Now listen, what is the advantage of having needle-like leaves when compared to broader leaves? How do they help in reducing water loss? Who can tell? Who will tell me the answer?
Transpiration.
Tomatoes.
Punya?
They reduce water loss through leaves by transpiration.
Why? Because what
surface
is
area is less,
yes.
absorption of water.
In as the surface area reduces, when the leaves are needle-like, the surface area is very less. Steffi, are you listening? When compared to the broader leaves, surface area will be very less. So the area exposed to the atmosphere for transpiration will be reduced, and hence they can save water. Any other point? Gayatri, Manoj?
They have thick cuticle and stomata.
Sunken stomata. Very good. So let us continue. The previous slide we have already seen. Now here you can see the cone of cycas, both male and female cone. This is male cone, this one, I don't know whether you can see. Female cone, I think male cone it is written over there. The third one is female cone. Gymnosperms, they are heterosporous. Already I have learned what is meant by heterosporous. Hetero, different, other. They produce two types of spores. So gymnosperms, they are capable of producing two types of spores, and you call them as microspores and megaspores. Microspores and megaspores, and they are haploid. Spores are haploid, means unpaired set of chromosome, not diploid. They are, even though sporophyte is diploid, spores are haploid. Two types of spores, microspores and macrospores. Which one will form, or which one represent the females and which one represent the males?
Megaspores, male, female.
Female. Mega, female. Micro,
Male.
male. Okay. Some leaves, so in these plants, some of the leaves, they are modified to form sporophylls. So what you see in the figure, both male and female cone, you can see. The second one shows, in the first one, also the male cone is shown. And third figure, you can see female cone. In both cases, what has happened is, some of the leaves, they are modified and they form sporophylls. Already we have learned in ferns that sporophylls are leaves bearing spores. So some of them, not the entire leaves, some of the leaves, they undergo modification and they form sporophylls. And these sporophylls, they are compactly arranged. They are compactly, and also as you can see in the picture, you can see spiral arrangement. Compactly and spirally arranged along an axis, and they form a structure what is known as strobili, strobilus singular, strobili or cones, or even you call it as lacs. Strobili and cones already you had learned. Strobili or cones. How are these strobili formed? Some of the leaves, they modify, they form sporophylls, and they are arranged spirally and very compactly around an axis to form structures known as lacs, strobili or cones. So once again, I'll repeat the points we learned in this slide. Gymnosperms, they are heterosporous. What do you mean by heterosporous? They produce, homosporous means single type of spores. Hetero means they produce different types of spores, and the spores they produce are of two types, microspores, megaspores. And microspores will germinate into micro will germinate into male gametophyte, and macro will form female gametophyte. And both of them these spores are haploid. And where are these spores produced? Some leaves get specialized and they form sporophylls. And these sporophylls will be arranged compactly and spirally around an axis and form structures known as strobili or cones or even lacs. Now here in the picture, you can see both male and female cones on the same tree. So what you see in the picture is a pine tree. Pine tree. In a pine tree, both cones will be produced on the same tree. In the previous one, what you saw in cycas, these are on different plants, different trees. Male cones in one and female cones in the other one. But in this one, in pine tree, both male and female cones you can find on the same tree. Pine or pinus, and it can be seen on different trees as in the case of cycas. You should not forget these examples in pine cone, because we are giving more weightage to 1 mark questions this year or objective type questions. So several questions can be asked. So highlight or underline all these points. Repeatedly you have to read and learn Only then you can memorize. So don't think that I have read once, now I'll be able to recollect. It's not like that. You are learning bundles and bundles, or heaps of terms you are learning this year. So only if you do it repeatedly, only repeated learning and reading will help you to memorize. However bright you are or weak, it doesn't matter. You need repeated learning. The number of times you repeat can differ depending upon your ability to memorize. But anyhow, with a single reading, this is not possible. So remind you. Then once again, the male and female cones either can be on the same tree or on the different trees. So cycas is an example where it is found on different trees, and as you can see in the picture on pinus, you can find it on the same tree. And another important point about our gymnosperm is that unlike bryophytes and pteridophytes, here the male and female gametophytes, they do not have independent free living existence, whereas in pteridophytes and bryophytes, the gametophytes were having independent existence, they were free living. But here in gymnosperms, female and male gametophytes, they are not having independent free living existence. Instead, they depend upon the sporophytes. They'll be inside, they'll be remaining inside the sporangia. I'll show you the picture. Female and male gametophyte will be attached to the sporophyte. They are not having an independent existence. They'll be present inside the sporangia, which are found on sporophylls. Point to be noted, in bryophytes and pteridophytes, they had an independent existence for the gametophyte. Whereas in gymnosperms, male and female gametophytes, they are dependent on sporophytes. They are attached, or they are retained within the sporangium found on the sporophytes. They are not having an independent free living existence. Underline if you have the textbook with you, don't forget the point. Now, here you can see the picture of a cycas, both male and female cone. Both male and female cone you can find. This is the uncut section, and here you can see a vertical or a longitudinal section of male cone you can find, and these are the sporophylls. See, these petal-like, these are known as sporophylls. Petal-like structures, those are sporophylls. And inside that, what do you find? Sporangium. These are sporangium. And inside the sporangium, you can find spores, microspores. Here it is marked pollen grains because they develop into pollen grains. So once again, what you see in the figure is a male cone. If you take a cross section or a longitudinal section, you will find sporophylls, and inside sporophylls, sporangium, microsporangium. Inside microsporangium, you can find microspores. Now coming to the male cone, you can see these are the megasporophylls, and see the ovules. No ovary or fruit covering this. These are the ovules. Clear? So both male and female cone you can find in the picture. Sporophylls bear sporangia. So whether it is macro or microsporophylls, they will have sporangia, and inside the sporangia, spores will be produced. And there are two types of sporophylls, microsporophylls and megasporophylls. Microsporophylls are found inside male cone, and they produce microspores. And megasporophylls are found in female cone, and they produce megaspores, which will develop into female gametophyte. Mega represent female, micro represent male. Any doubt till here, children? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll begin with microsporophyll. So already you understood the difference between microspores, megaspores, etc. Why do you call gymnosperms as heterosporous? Sania, why do you call gymnosperms, or why do you say they are heterosporous?
There were different types of spores. One is bigger.
Wait. How many types?
Two types.
Two types. Michael, which are they? You have purposely told me to do this? You have done? No. Okay. Okay, you type me the answer. I can't hear anything. So don't see that the next day. You close the door, windows are open, and the dog is given instruction, correct moment, I'll give you the signal, you start barking. No, Michael, you just message it. Okay, Donna always get a chance. Sharon, which are the two types of spores?
Microspores and megaspores.
And what do they develop into? Microspores and megaspores?
Microspores develop into male
gametophyte
and megaspores develop into female gametophyte.
Okay. Then we learned about two types of plants where in one case both male and female cones will be produced in the same, and other example where they'll be produced on different trees. Can you give example for both? Evelyn, your connectivity is better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the answer. You got the question?
Same. It is this. Yes, ma'am. Same type of cone in Pinus.
In Pinus, how it is different or
types
same?
Of cone in Cycas.
Pardon?
Pinus, it is different.
Cycas different and pine?
Same.
Okay. So we'll continue.
Same.
Yes. So we will move on to the microsporophylls, details about microsporophylls. So you can see the picture of male cone and its longitudinal section. You might have understood, I already told you what each parts are: microsporophylls, microsporangium, and the microspores which will develop into pollen grains. Now let's see it in detail. The strobili or the cone bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia. If microsporophylls are there, inside that what is there? Microsporangia. So the strobili bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia are known as male strobili or microsporangiate. Once again, what are male strobili or microsporangiate? The strobili bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia. Microsporangia are present inside microsporophylls. The microspores will germinate and form male gametophytes. These male gametophytes are pollen grains. It's highly reduced and confined to a limited number of cells. So it's only less number of cells and it is highly reduced, and it is known as pollen grain. And where are the pollen grains developed? Inside the microsporangium. So once again, the strobili bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia are known as male strobili or microsporangiate. And inside the sporangium, microspores are there. These microspores will develop into male gametophyte or pollen grain, and it is highly reduced and only few, it is limited to a few cells, and the pollen grains are developed within the microsporangia. It goes without saying. Hope I can, it is clear now, children. Shall I move on to the next one? I need
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Now coming to megasporophyll, same thing, we just need to change a few terms. The strobili bearing megasporophylls and megasporangia. The other name for megasporangia are ovules, are called female strobili or macrosporangiate. So if it is asked what are macrosporangiate strobili, you can say the same thing, the strobili bearing megasporophylls and megasporangia. Macro and mega, same. Now, second point, the megaspore mother cell. So, from this megasporangium, from the megasporangium, one of the cells get differentiated. There is a mass of cells which you call it as nucellus. So, from there, one of the cells will get differentiated. So there is slight difference with what we covered or what we learned about microsporophylls. So I told you that megasporangium or ovules are present, and from this megasporangium, a mass of cells are present. So one of them will get differentiate and they form what is known as megaspore mother cell. And the nucellus or this mass of cells is covered by several layers, several integuments or envelopes. And this structure is known as ovule. In the beginning, I told you megasporangia is same as ovules. So the megasporangium, we can even call it as nucellus, and it is surrounded by several envelopes, and we call it as ovule. Or else you can say all these are same, microsporangium, nucellus and ovule. And then we have to move on to the next slide. So once again, if there is any confusion, I'll repeat once again. The first point, I hope it is clear. The strobili having megasporophylls and megasporangia are called female strobili. And here, it is not that all the cells undergo division and form the egg cells. Here, one of the cells from this megasporangium, we call it as nucellus, that mass of cells. So one of the cell undergo changes, get differentiated and form megaspore mother cell, who will carry out the process or a function of producing the egg cell. The nucellus, that is protected by several layers of coverings or envelopes, and you call the structure as ovule. And now let's see what will happen to this megaspore mother cell. The megaspore mother cell, they undergo meiotic division and they form 4 megaspores. But out of these 4 megaspores, 3 will get degenerated, and one of them will develop into the multicellular female gametophyte, which contain one or more archegonia. It is in these archegonia that the egg cell will be produced. The multicellular female gametophyte, as we already told before, I told you that in gymnosperms, the gametophytes are not having independent existence. They'll be present within the sporangium of sporophyte. So here also the female gametophyte will be retained within the megasporangium. So once again, about megasporophylls. And the previous slide also, I think you would like to see the strobili bearing megasporophylls and megasporangia are known as female strobili. And from this megasporangium, that mass of cells, we even call it as nucellus. So one of the cells from this nucellus or megasporangium undergo changes and transform or differentiate into megaspore mother cell. And what is the role of megaspore mother cell? Megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic division and they form 4 megaspores. Out of the 4, 3 will degenerate and one of them become the female gametophyte. So before that, the nucellus is protected by several envelopes and they form ovule. And here, out of that 4, 3 degenerate, one of them will develop into a multicellular female gametophyte. Inside this female gametophyte, archegonia, already you know the function of archegonia, the sex organ which bears egg cell. So the female gametophyte will be having one or more archegonia, and as I told you, the female gametophyte, they are not having any independent existence. They'll remain attached to the sporophyte within the sporangium. So that was about microsporophylls and megasporophylls. So what is the difference between female strobili and male strobili? That even call it as macrosporangiate and macro or megasporangiate or microsporangiate strobili. So what is the difference between both? Steffi? Steffi is in the post mode. Malavika?
The strobili bearing megasporophylls is
and
called
megasporangia. Megasporophylls and megasporangia are called
female strobili.
Whereas male strobili,
they bear microsporophyll
and
microsporangia.
They bear microsporophylls and microsporangia. Okay, they are known as male strobili. Then what else we learned? Donna, next point. What we learned?
The microspores develop into male
gametophyte. What is the name of the male gametophyte? P. Starting with P. Male gametophyte. Who can help her?
Pollen grains.
Pollen grains. Okay. And tell me about the megasporophyll. Megasporophyll has got megasporangium and they'll produce megaspores. Michael, how many megaspores are produced?
4.
And what will happen to them?
One of them will produce
will develop into
female sex organ.
Female gametophyte. Female gametophyte. What do this female gametophyte have? What do the female gametophytes have?
Archegonia.
Yes, archegonia. And it is in the archegonia. One or more archegonia will be there. And it is inside these archegonia that egg cells are present. And these egg cell forms a female gamete. Now continuing with fertilization. Let's see. Now you know where are the male and female gametes produced. Okay. Megaspores, pollen grains, from there the male gametes, and archegonia will contain the female gametophyte. Now let's see how fertilization is happening. Pollen grain. Okay. The pollen grain will be released from microsporangium. There is no need of any confusion. You know that pollen grain indicates male gametophyte. The sporangium is micro. Micro is representing male. So the pollen grains released from the microsporangium will reach the ovule. How? By air currents. With the help of moving air or with the help of wind or air currents, the pollen grains will be carried to the opening of the ovules. And each pollen grain contains 2 male gametes that you have learned, I think, 10th standard. So the pollen germinates and produces pollen tube, and the pollen tube will grow, or it grows towards the archegonia. Why it is growing towards the archegonia? The egg cell is present over there. So through this pollen tube, why the pollen tube is formed? To transport the male gametes. So each pollen grain will have 2 male gametes. The pollen grain, once it falls on the or reaches the opening of the ovules, there it will germinate and then move towards the archegonia in the ovules. And once it reaches there, it will release the gametes into the mouth of archegonia. And it results in the fusion of male and female gamete. And once the gametes fuse, whether hope you are listening, you had a confusion with this part. The zygote will develop into an embryo and the ovules will change into uncovered or naked seeds. Once fertilization is over, zygote forms the embryo and the ovules transform into seeds. So I have shown here a flow chart to remember the points easily. Pollen grains released from microsporangium, transported by air currents come in contact with the ovule or reach the mouth of the ovule, and it will be released into the archegonia. There the fusion of male and female gametes takes place. Zygote is formed. Zygote will develop into the embryo and the ovule forms the naked seed. Pollen grains released from microsporangium with the help of air currents reach the mouth of the ovule where the archegonia is present. It will release the contents to there and the male and female gametes fuse. Zygote will be formed. Zygote develops into the embryo and the ovule transforms into seed. So once again, quickly I will show you the points about fertilization. Starting with the first point, pollen grains released from microsporangium. These will be carried by air currents to the opening of the ovule. Once again, pollen grains released from microsporangium. Then they are carried by air currents, reaches the opening of the ovule, and once it reaches the archegonia, how it reaches the archegonia? They'll germinate, forms a pollen tube. With the help of the pollen tube, each pollen grain will have 2 male gametes. The pollen tube carries the 2 male gametes and reaches or grows towards the archegonia present in the ovule. Once it reaches there, reaches the mouth of the archegonia, it will release the gametes into the archegonia. So archegonia already has got egg cell. So egg cell fuses with the gametes, forms zygote, and zygote develops into embryo and ovule becomes the seed. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Only Punya. What about others? Do you have any doubt? Nobody is having doubt. Only when I ask questions, I think you will have doubt. Clear, children? What I have covered, is it clear with that? We have completed this chapter because angiosperms deleted. The topic is deleted. I have forwarded in our biology group about the deleted topics. So we had angiosperms more, but they have deleted the topic angiosperms. So mostly this will be the chapter because already based on chapter 2 you had an MCQ. So it will be based on this chapter and you have it on 21st. You need a thorough reading and learning. Otherwise the options can be so misleading. So make it a point to start revising it slowly. And as I already have told you, never postpone today's lessons for tomorrow to learn. Then everything will be in a mess. Have you understood what I said? So who is going to tell me about fertilization? Nandana, start. You don't have to say the entire thing, just start.
So the pollen grain is released from the microsporangium.
Okay,
and
wait. Now what happens? Nia is present today. Nia is absent? Yes. Now who did not get a chance? Nidhi, pollen grains are released from microsporangium. Now what happens?
They transfer by air to ovules.
To the ovule. Okay, enough. Now next, Vidur. It has reached the ovule. Then?
And the male.
I don't want you to read. I've told you earlier also, don't read.
Ma'am, the male will go to the ovule center.
Male will forget. What male will forget?
No,
Vidur, you are in 11th standard.
No, I forgot something.
Wait, I'll come back to you. I'll ask you to say the whole process. Meenakshi, next point. So up to release by air currents and reaching the ovule, it is told. Then what? Vidur, get ready by the time I reach you.
They germinate and form pollen tubes.
Okay. Now what will happen to this pollen tube, Sharon? Pollen tube, what is the purpose of having pollen? The video is stuck, I think. Punya, what is the role of pollen tube?
It takes a male gamete to the female gamete.
Where is the female gamete present? Where is Sania? Where is the female gamete present? Archegonia. Once the pollen tube reaches the mouth of archegonia, Now, Reen, what happens? Once it reaches the mouth of Archegonia, pollen tube reaches the mouth of Archegonia. What is next?
The gametes are released to
the Archegonium. Now what happens, Anna? Now what happens?
Fertilization takes place.
What is fertilization? Make it clear. What will fuse with what?
Male gamete.
Male gametes will fuse with, or the male gamete fuses with?
Female gamete.
Which is the female gamete?
Archegonium.
Archegonium is the female gamete? It's a sex organ. Egg cell. It fuses with the egg. And what is formed, Anna?
Zygote.
Zygote is formed. Zygote will develop into? Embryo. And what will happen to the ovule? Lydia, what will happen to the ovule?
They naked seeds.
They form naked seeds. So now Vidur is going to sum up all the points about fertilization. Vidur. Here afterwards, if anybody misses, can't say an answer, I'll make you say the whole thing. Yes, Vidur. Tell me.
The pollen grain released in sporangia.
Not released in, released from. From where?
From microsporangia.
Okay.
Through air currents.
It will reach?
It will reach the opening of the
ovule.
Ovules. Then
pollen tube will release?
Then pollen tube will release male gametes to
which is that organ? Female sex organ?
Archegonia.
And inside the Archegonia, what is there?
Archegonia there.
Inside Archegonium, what is present? Inside Archegonium, what is present? Archegonium is a female sex organ. It will have the female gamete. Which is the female gamete?
Egg cell.
Egg cell. A fusion takes place and forms what, Vidur? Male and female gamete fuses. Fertilization has taken place. It forms what?
It forms spores.
My God, same thing you had a confusion last day. What is the difficult? From 8th standard you are learning. Male and female gamete fuses and form a single cell. What is that? We all have been developed from that single cell. What is the name? Starting with Z. What?
Zygote.
And zygote will develop into? What is the next stage? Vidur, zygote will develop into what? What, Sania? Zygote will develop into?
Embryo.
What is that, Vidur?
Embryo.
Embryo. And what will happen to the ovule, Vidur?
Ovules into seeds.
What type of seeds?
Naked seeds.
Learn and come next day. Thank you, children. Thank you. See you next class.